여러분 반갑습니다. I'm Kwon So-hwa and this is K-Culture Dive. Join us in exploring everything in Korean culture from K-entertainment to AI news, K-culture in photos. And our Hallyu people guest today is an expert on world heritage. So stay tuned for all of that. And with that, let's dive in. Joining us this Wednesday on the show is Walter Lee. Walter, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, Soa, and hello to everyone joining us on K-Culture Dive today. Walter Lee here to co-host and bring you the latest in K-entertainment stories.
Let's start off the show with K-Enter News, Walter, and with BTS.
Yes, indeed. So this is according to the latest Billboard charts, which we always keep an eye on. BTS's fifth studio album, Arirang, climbed to number 26 on the Billboard 200. Now, that's Billboard's main albums chart, by the way. Now, the album's lead track, Swim, the one you're hearing right now, also extended its impressive run on the Hot 100, coming in at number 100 for the 17th consecutive week. Now, the milestone matches the group's previous best set by the Coldplay collaboration called My Universe. Now, Swim has also remained at number 2 on the Billboard Global excluding US chart for a 7th straight week. Earlier on June 6th chart, the song earned its 8th number 1, setting a new record for the most weeks at number 1 among songs released in 2026. Now, BTS also maintained momentum with Come Over, which charted for a 5th consecutive week, ranking at number 170 on the Global 200 and number 94 on the Global excluding US chart.
What a great achievement for the biggest K-pop boy group right now.
Yes.
But we're going to move over to, let's say, their hubes, their little brothers who might someday become the next BTS. We're talking about Cortez.
Yes, I wouldn't disagree with you there, So as of Monday, Cortez's second mini album, Green Green, has surpassed 300 million cumulative streams on Spotify. Spotify is the world's largest music streaming platform. Now, the milestone just came 77 days after its release, making Cortez the only boy group that has debuted within the past year to achieve this feat. Now, Green Green previously surpassed 100 million streams on May 19th and 200 million streams on June 18th before adding another 100 million streams just casually in just another month. Now, Cortez has also surpassed 12.7 million monthly listeners on Spotify, but it doesn't end there, as the group has also maintained its momentum on the US Billboard charts as well, along with their brothers BTS. Now, Green Green ranked number 132 on the Billboard 200, like I said, the main albums chart, extending its run on the main albums chart to 10 consecutive weeks since debuting at number 3 in May. Now, the album has stayed in the chart, continuing to hold the record for the longest charting album on Billboard 200 by a Korean or K-pop boy group that has debuted within the last 5 years.
Amazing, I have to say. And finally, Walter, we're going to talk about New Jeans because their fans probably were pleasantly surprised about some content that they uploaded on YouTube.
Yes, because it was not predicted. New Jeans surprised fans at midnight July 22nd, which is also the 4th anniversary of the group's debut, by unexpectedly releasing a special video on their YouTube channel, which you can see right now, featuring 3 official current members, Hyerin, and Honey. Now,
Hyerin and Hein and Honey.
Yeah, and Honey, along with yet to be confirmed member Minji. Now, while nothing has been officially announced, it's probably certain and appears very likely that Minji will return to the group. Now, the release marks New Jeans' first group content in over a year. Now, the group activities had been on hold since March last year when the members independently organized a performance in Hong Kong, after which they were forced to suspend all group activities due to the Adore contract lawsuit. Now, following the legal rulings, Hyerin and Honey returned to Adore late last year. Now, with the label also confirming that it is currently within positive talks with Minji regarding her return. Now, there was one other member, a former member Danielle, will not be joining the group following a lengthy legal and contract dispute between New Jeans' label and also their parent company, Hallyu.
All right, let's see what's going to happen with the future of New Jeans. And thank you very much, Walter, for those updates.
No worries.
All right, now let's go over to our AI anchor Arang for more culture-related news. Arang.
Thanks, Sua. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. Foreign tourists are visiting a broader range of sites in South Korea, expanding beyond major landmarks to traditional markets and popular hiking trails. According to foreign foot traffic data from the Seoul AI Foundation, Dongdaemun Design Plaza recorded the largest on-year visitor surge at over 12%, followed closely by Atasa Mountain at nearly 12%. Visits to the Hongdae area and Naksam Park each rose by 10%, while visits to Gwangjang Market and Gwanaksa Mountain also grew by roughly 10%. Officials noted that foreign tourists are now choosing distinct locations based on personal interests and travel goals. The 2026 Visiting Korean Book Fair will be held today and tomorrow in Taipei. Hosted by the Culture Ministry and the Publication Industry Promotion Agency of Korea. This fair features 20 domestic publishers and some 60 Taiwanese publishers and buyers, who will join business consultations. The event offers Korean participants market strategy training and seminars on Taiwan's publishing industry, while expanding outreach to local buyers. The government has supported the global reach of K-books through the Visiting Book Fair project since 2015. The 2026 Hwacheon Tomato Festival, a flagship summer event in Gangwon-do Province's Hwacheon-gun County, opens next Friday. Marking its 22nd edition, the festival runs for 10 days through August 9th. The festival has been relocated from Sachangni Cultural Village to Sana Sports Park for a more spacious and comfortable visitor experience. The venue features 6 themed zones, including performances, events, and water activities, with the event zone hosting the signature golden ring hunt and crushed tomatoes. The contest will feature 135 grams of gold rings hidden within roughly 44 tons of tomatoes. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
Through a single photo at a time, we take a closer look at culture in Korea. This is K-Culture in Photos. Here's today's keyword, 시골, or the countryside. When you think of the countryside, what comes to mind? Wide blue skies, green fields, and traditional homes. Peaceful, quiet, and far from the busy city. And then there's the food. A countryside meal may not look fancy, but it's made with fresh seasonal ingredients and served with plenty of homemade side dishes. It's the kind of meal that fills both your stomach and your heart. But here's the surprise. Korea's countryside is becoming more and more popular with the younger generations. A travel vlog by K-pop girl group member Wonnie from Risin or Risennu, featuring her hometown on Jeojedo Island, drew over 10 million views. Local creators are also turning small towns into unique brands by sharing travel stories and creating locally inspired merchandises. Even TV shows set in rural villages are gaining popularity as more people look for a slower, simpler lifestyle away from the fast pace of city life. And if Korea's countryside is making a comeback, here's another reason to fall in love with it. Take a look at this. It almost looks like a scene from an animated movie. A lush green forest and thousands of tiny lights sparkling in the darkness. They are not stars, they are fireflies. You don't always have to travel deep into the countryside to see them. This summer, some parks and nature-themed attractions are offering special nighttime programs where visitors can observe thousands of fireflies up close while learning about their life cycle and why they glow. And across Korea, there are still places where nature puts on this breathtaking show. On warm summer nights, forests and streams come alive with countless glowing fireflies, creating magical landscapes that look almost too beautiful to be real. It's one of those unforgettable reminders that sometimes nature creates the most spectacular light show of all. We've seen today's countryside table, but where did Korea's food culture begin? This exhibition at the National Museum of Korea explores thousands of years of Korean dining culture. On display are traditional soban or portable wooden dining tables, along with beautifully crafted bowls, plates, and kitchenware once used in everyday life. Among the highlights are what researchers believe to be 1,700-year-old soybean blocks, offering a rare glimpse into Korea's long tradition of fermentation. Ancient grains of rice and other food remains also reveal what people ate centuries ago. The story continues with traditional kitchen tools, elegant brassware, grinding stones, and the oldest known wooden cutting board ever discovered in Korea. Even rusty bowls, spoons, and chopsticks tell the story of everyday meals from long ago. With interactive displays and videos, visitors can discover not only what Koreans ate, but also how food has connected people across generations. When summer temperatures soar, many Koreans look to nature for relief. One of the most breathtaking sights is Korea's waterfalls. From the famous falls of Jeju-do Island to hidden cascades across the country, these cool, misty spots offer a refreshing escape from the summer heat. But for many Koreans, nothing says summer quite like a day at a mountain valley. Families and friends cool their feet in icy cold streams, relax under the shade of the trees, and enjoy picnics surrounded by nature. For others, it's all about adventure. Some hike along the valleys, while others catch insects or tiny fish and explore the outdoors with their children. And for kids, nature becomes the perfect water park. Floating on tubes, splashing with water guns, and playing in crystal clear streams. It's a reminder that sometimes the best summer playgrounds are the ones nature creates. Together, these moments remind us that Korea's culture isn't found only in famous landmarks. It's also reflected in its villages, its tables, and the beauty of nature.
The 48th session of the UNESCO World Heritage Committee is currently taking place in Busan, bringing together experts and government representatives from around the world to discuss the protection of humanity's most precious heritage. Today, we're connecting live with Dr. Dan Tormey, a UNESCO World Heritage Evaluator, to discuss the value of Korea's World Heritage, the importance of international cooperation in heritage preservation, and the challenges that lie ahead. Dr. Tormey, welcome to the program. Hello.
Hello, Doctor.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here with you.
It's an honor to have you on the show, Dr. Tormey. So first and foremost, could you please introduce yourself a little bit to our viewers and also tell us your current role in the field of World Heritage?
Yeah, well, my role in the field of World Heritage includes a lot of really interesting things, and I really love it. And first, I evaluate World Heritage sites, and as a field evaluator, I think I really have the best job in the world. I get to go to some of the most fabulous places on the planet, spend a week there, and really get to know it well. In addition to heritage sites, I also work with UNESCO Global Geoparks, and I'm part of a group that is starting a new type of conservation site, key geoheritage areas, which our team was doing here in Busan 6 weeks ago. I also help countries thinking about preparing World Heritage Site nominations, and this is really fun because there you're at the beginning when conservation approaches are first being considered. And I'm part of the team that reviews the condition of existing World Heritage sites and determines whether they are improving, deteriorating, or staying the same. And more recently, much of my work has been looking at the relationships between climate change, protected areas, and world heritage. And this draws upon some of my experience that in other work that I do with my company, Catalyst Environmental Solutions. And as you could see from the pictures, I'm a volcanologist as well. So usually my favorite places tend to explode now and then.
Dr. Tormey, I must have to say you must be the person to talk about this topic just by hearing how much you love what you do. I really love that about this passion about you.
Yes, yes. I mean, it does sound like you have the best job in the world. And as much as I love my job, if you plan to step down, you may contact me anytime. So just giving you that for, heads up. So,
Walter, perhaps we can trade and I can talk about K-pop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'd love to have you in the studio.
Definitely. Now, we heard you were in Busan for a related meeting quite recently, actually. What significance do you think it holds that this year's meeting is taking place in Korea and also in Busan?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be in Busan 6 weeks ago. We were developing, my group within IUCN is developing a new type of conservation area. It's called Key Geoheritage Areas. And the Korean Heritage Service hosted us. There was a very large congress. You can see some of the pictures here of the event. Or no, this is the session, but anyway, it was much like this. And it was really a great time to get together. We then had very intensive work sessions together, developing the guidelines for these new key geoheritage areas. And then we also took the time to sing karaoke at night and to visit many of the natural areas during the day. So I think that the World Heritage Committee meeting here is really significant for several reasons. One is, of course, they're going to be choosing which new sites to inscribe on the World Heritage list. And this is significant for Korea because the Getbol tidal flats are under consideration for inscription, or for expansion. They are already inscribed. So hopefully we have some things to celebrate together if that's announced. And then the meeting also considers a lot of important things like the conditions and threats to World Heritage sites. And Korea, I think, is an excellent host for this because they've shown such leadership in supporting World Heritage and really addressing some of the threats and especially the management of these things. So I think it's really highly significant that this meeting is here in Busan right now.
Right. So before we move on, what does the selection process for a host city actually involve?
Well, I'll first say I am not on the selection committee, but I do follow it. I'm always interested in how the selection is made and who is selected. And generally, it starts by a country that's serving on the World Heritage Committee, like Korea is, proposing to host a session, and then they work with UNESCO to develop the specifics of it, and then the World Heritage Committee itself then has to decide and approve the venue. So it's really a cooperative process. It's different from a FIFA host city or an Olympics host city. It's much more cooperative as it's developed. And Korea then takes the responsibility for managing this worldwide event. And I think, as the pictures show, Busan is a perfect city for this. It's a global coastal city, very strong relationship to culture, science, international exchange. And holding the session here really highlights Korea's remarkable heritage and growing contributions to heritage worldwide.
And speaking of which, Korea is home to a number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites and continues to pursue new inscriptions. So, Dr. Tormey, in your view, what are the greatest strengths of Korea's World Heritage that deserve greater international attention?
Well, you have some great World Heritage sites. You have 17 of them. 2 of them are within the category that I look at, natural sites. You have the Jeju volcanic island and lava tubes. It's known for its extreme beauty and its extreme geological significance. And then you have the Getbol tidal flats, which include a lot of biodiversity, and it's a global stopover for migratory water birds. So in a natural sense, Korea has demonstrated both sides of natural heritage with a very remarkable volcanic geological site and an amazing biological site in the tidal flats. But where more attention, I think, could be deserved is in other areas of World Heritage. You know, there was the segment just earlier on the food culture that is a part of UNESCO World Heritage. That's intangible values that I think the world could provide more attention to with Korea's listing for that. But really, for me, I'd like to emphasize the 7 UNESCO global geoparks that you have. These connect heritage to sustainable development within particular communities. And so it really invites the community directly into heritage management as either partners to the enterprise, guides, educators, businesses. It really brings the people into the place. And I think especially in Korea, the culture and the landscape are really inseparable. And so for that, I think the global geoparks that you have, which are really amazing, are worthy of more international attention.
Yes, I definitely agree with you there, Doctor. And now, as a World Heritage Committee evaluator, what are the most important criteria you consider when assessing a site's outstanding universal value?
Outstanding universal value. Yes, that is the definition of a World Heritage site. And there's what we call the 3 pillars of World Heritage. One are the scientific pillar. That's the first. And so there's several natural criteria for geology, for biology, for beauty. And so for these, we look at a host of things, but one of the main things is to compare the attributes of the site being nominated and that I'm evaluated with other similar sites globally. Something like outstanding universal value is really a relative term. There's not an absolute scale. So this comparison is really important. And then the next really important part, the second pillar, is the integrity. Is the site sufficiently intact so that people visiting can really appreciate the scientific aspects of outstanding universal value? Has development damaged the values? Are the boundaries large enough both to protect the values and to encompass all of the aspects that are put forth for outstanding universal value? And then finally, the third thing that I look at is protection and management. So what are the various threats to the outstanding universal value? Maybe more visitation, maybe climate change. The site may be particularly vulnerable to climate change. And so I ask the question, are there appropriate legal protections that forever will protect and provide a basis for management? And is the management plan itself built in a way that really responds to the kinds of threats that will be seen? So to be considered for outstanding universal value, all 3 of those aspects, those 3 pillars, have to be present in a really remarkable and outstanding way.
And Dr. Tormey, a couple of questions here. What outcomes do you hope will emerge from this year's meeting in Busan? And also, what more do you think Korea can do to play a greater role in the protection and preservation of World Heritage?
Well, I think the first big thing coming out of the session will be the new World Heritage sites that will be approved for inscription on the list. And that's really a cause for celebration. And as I mentioned, Korea has an expansion of the Getbol tidal flats under consideration. And then the other really important thing that happens is, and I think a hopefully significant outcome, will be strengthening international cooperation in addressing the growing threats to World Heritage sites. And so I hope, especially with respect to climate change, which has been recently identified as the most significant threat to World Heritage sites, that the international community can develop a position where climate action and adaptation and nature conservation are done together so that you don't have a transition to a fossil-free future in a way that puts natural sites at risk. So really, I think in looking to these effects of climate change, putting nature first, I think is hopefully a big outcome that's going to come from this meeting. And Korea, in terms of what they could do more, first, you're doing a lot. You're doing a great deal for World Heritage, and I think that deserves real recognition and thanks. So 감사합니다, Korea, for that. And, I think one of the, just to pick one, well, two, actually. So financial support is always important, and Korea has been very supportive of many programs, including the one that I'm a part of, the Geoheritage Specialist Group. And so that's another reason for thanks, and hope that continues. But I think that Korea has really built the capacity and really the mastery of identifying and documenting and prioritizing heritage sites and managing heritage sites. You're so good at that, bringing the community in. And the world really needs that knowledge. And so I think more efforts to share that knowledge that you have outside to countries looking to build programs like yours would be a really great way that Korea could continue to contribute in the way they have to heritage.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Tormey. That's all the time we have. With that, we want to say 감사합니다 to you again, and also for sharing your expertise. I hope we can do this again sometime. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Doctor.
I hope so, and I'll study up my K-pop if Walter needs a helper.
Yes.
So.
Fantastic. All right, thank you, Walter. As always, we're going to hear from your K-Inter News again soon this week, and see you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching and your interest in everything K-culture. Please tune in again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Korea time. Keep diving.